this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to part 2 of part 4 of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2. In the previous episode, we landed in the beautiful city of Topolobampo and began building ourselves a transportation network of trains carrying passengers and commodities across the map. And in this episode, we're going to basically continue to make Topolobampo a great utopia in sunny Mexico. Now, both of these are basically the same as, well, in the ending, it just depends on the type of commodity you want to serve. But since I want to carry this particular cargo, we're going to do alcohol.
The alcohol from the local cactuses will be used in hospitals all over the world to disinfect things, but that goes without saying. Now,
as you can see, the export is open and requires alcohol. But if you chose silver spoons, it will be silver spoons. Now, we can either transport them by boat or by rail. Considering that I don't like on how these bridges are a little too low for shipping.
There are simply too many bachelors hanging around on the streets of Topolobampo. It's enormously detrimental to productivity. That's why you should see to it that their rambunctious ways are tamed. And what better way than the responsible task of starting a family?
I personally agree, which will make good use of this particular road out here.
When people get married, they have children, and then they become law-abiding and straight-laced. You ought to help out a bit on the subject of romance, so that it won't be long before wedding bells are ringing.
So our task is basically to deliver 10 people up here, which I call Romantic Point. As you can see, we can either deliver people from Topolobampo or at El Forete up to this area. But considering on how close El Forete is to Romance Point, we're basically going to operate a trolley service. A bit of a tourist trolley service. Then we also got to place down one of these. Down the trolley track and connect it up there. We'll need to place down a station there, then buy a depot to acquire trolleys to deliver the people to there. So, the trolleys will start at El Forete sidings and head up to Romantic Point. Trolley. And I'm running low on cash again, even though I have no debt. Well, at least these vehicles are making me a good profit. We'll purchase 4 of these, give them the coat of pink, work on the trolley system. And as you can see, we can either transport either alcohol by rail or by sea, or actually by wagon convoy. But considering the distance between here and here, it's probably better if we transport them by rail. After all, that whiskey train, well, why did I say whiskey? I meant to say that alcohol train could be worth a lot of money. And by money, I mean in a lot of revenue. First, we gotta make sure that the road is not basically hitting the entirety of the building. And then do it like so here. And then we'll place down a 240-meter terminal cargo station right on the outskirts of town. We'll start connecting the track work and basically do so right here. Now, special notice. As you may notice, the water is basically very clear and there's bridges, but don't be fooled. By using this navigatable waters layer, it will showcase in green on what ships can use to travel around. If you probably don't remember what I said in episode 3. That if the bridges are too low, the ship won't be able to use them. So that basically means if the bridge is too low on an intended ship's route, well, on a ship's intended route, it basically won't go through unless it has a bypass. But believe me, basically digging a waterway down this way with a high bridge to connect to here, it's going to cost a lot of money. So, the alcohol train is basically the best option. Plus, we need to also have a spare track with our train carrying the cacti, so there won't be any crowding at the station. Especially if there are more than one especially if both alcohol trains are waiting at the station platform. Because if both trains carrying alcohol are at the station, there's no way for the cacti train to pull in. We'll assign that to track 3, and then freight train D2 medical alcohol. I might as well rename this to D1. Give this the blue livery. And to copy the train that's used on D1, which costs about 5.53. $6 million. But this requires 300 units of alcohol, so this place is going to be pumping like mad. So, I forgot to mention industries on how they can level up. If the production, shipment, and transport reach these 3 areas, the industry will slowly level up. From level 1, which produces low amounts of finished goods or raw materials, to a high output of finished goods or raw materials. And there will be a unique sound effect once that basically is finished. As you can see in about 2, 1. It didn't make the sound, but normally industries will make a sound to let you know that they have been upgraded. And just in time, as the new train just rolled in to pick up its load. It will take a little bit of time for it to load up. But, however, once that is loaded up to the brim, then it should basically make a good amount of money. Besides, the station is close to the export, so it should at least be able to deliver its commodities there. In the meantime, we might as well basically place trees around here. And let's see, trolley number 8 and number 9 have passengers on board. Perfect. So once they arrive at the top of Romance Point, they should basically be able to, well, maybe marry and have children. Let me see, consumers. Shipping only 16. And now our train started. And our other will be arriving pretty soon with its load of cacti. But now, I need to repay my loan of $6 million. Ugh. Like I stated, this game's finances are kind of out of control. You feel like that you're making a lot of money, but the earnings say otherwise. Furthermore, the more money, the older your vehicle gets, the higher their expenses is. And don't get me started with the weekly maintenance costs. It is just so absurd and just something I wasn't expecting at all. I was expecting something like monthly or something. But, as you can see, with this passing loop, we'll be able to allow a train of cacti to get into the yard without blocking the main line. And just in time, as the distillery is running very low on cacti. And now, with a fresh influx of cacti in, more alcohol should be able to be made. And
love was short-lived. The brand new parents are constantly getting in each other's hair, and there's no end to the children's hollering and crying. In comparison, those bachelors hanging around were actually pretty harmless.
and that indeed is unfortunate. But that's basically all three tasks, I think. Oh wait, not all three. That's only two out of the three, because the third one is yet to appear. Although train D1 has... well, maybe once train D2 once arrives at, well, the export building, maybe that will change. Passing by the main freight yard and heading down towards the export harbor. It isn't much, but however though, some of the money that is used will basically help repay my debt. And what's with all these trees doing here? This is a building, not a wildlife sanctuary. Fortunately, there's some alcohol waiting at the station, and it's only going to grow bigger eventually. Speaking of which, I have a feeling we might have to use this building very soon. So, place down a road there and connect it with a truck stop. Because even though Topolobampo is growing pretty well, I have a feeling it won't last too much longer. Let's see, what else could be done around here? Well, it's gonna take a while for this stuff to be brought in, so I am gonna make a quick time cut. And we're back. As our train arrives with the last bits of alcohol needed.
Fantastic. The export business is on target. Only very few prefer looking for quarrels and being idle. It's no loss when they leave town. But maybe precaution should be taken that others don't do the same. More exports mean more prosperity too. And as a result, more satisfaction for the whole colony so that nobody else will want to move away. More productive farms mean growth, and growth is the solution to all problems. The birds on an island off the coast leave a very potent fertilizer behind.
Which we're going to use to deliver loads of guano to the cactus farm. Hopefully, this guano will help basically make cacti grow a lot faster and have much higher yields.
Instead of using all the alcohol solely for medical purposes, special guests could be served a small glass of it too. As they say in Mexico, liquor doesn't hit the spot unless there's a worm in it. Set off to find the tangy critters that spend their days underground.
And now, we basically have to use our earth bending tools to find this so-called worm.
The tasty worms can't be found just anywhere. A Mexican market vendor, Senora, thinks there might be a good chance of nabbing some halfway between the forest and the sawmill, if you hurry.
Which, indicated by these blue circles, is where we could find one. Let's see.
Our informer is certain. They were still here a moment ago. But the worms seem to have disappeared just as fast. Give it another try on the riverbank near town.
Which actually has been dug a little bit thanks to our train station. And our company is running into more debt. Great! Hopefully, I might be able to earn enough money to purchase at least 2 of these, plus a shipping building as well. Well, a shipyard and acquiring a boat to carry the guano from one end of from there down to here. but it should make some money somehow. I mean, let's see. We're only going to extend it by 1 million, no more.
Nothing doing. Again. They must truly be the speediest worms in all of Mexico. Maybe you'll have more luck at the seaside by one of the many bays.
Let's hope we can find the worm in that spot. Because these expensive construction costs are going to be expensive.
Ay. You finally caught them. The speediest worms in Mexico.
And that is the final bonus task. Now then, let's see. We got guano to take here. So, let's see. We'll need a small shipbuilding, which is going to cost us a whopping 250k. I'm only going to be doing this. Okay. And then here, we also have to connect this by road as well. And of course, we need to build a ship dock. We can place one near town where a shipbuilder will basically erect a small little cargo ship for us to use. The Wilhelm. It's the only ship that's capable of carrying guano. We'll fill it up there and take it down there. Full load, 10 minutes, and we'll basically call this ship route. Or guano ship. It takes a little bit of time for an industry to get started of transporting cargo. Oh, wait, I just remembered. I didn't even connect the road from... I meant to basically... Oh, come on. Are you serious, game? I need a little more cash here, please. Shouldn't be too difficult to earn a little bit of extra money. There we go. And then... There we go. And then we'll just turn the ship around and send it back towards, well, let's see. Yeah, much more appropriate. Guano Island. And then deliver it towards El Forete. The Cactus Farm Port. Now I should be able to earn some cash to basically pay off my company debts. But fortunately, many of my services are producing a lot of money. My trains, of course, are producing a lot of millions in revenue, classified as tickets. Speaking of which, we haven't even placed down our HQ, which I'm renaming it to Topolobampo Transportation Company. We have a company score of 8. And we'll place it right near the commercial district. That is, if I can earn enough cash again. Sometimes you can build a very big system, but it just is a lot of money to basically maintain and upkeep. Let's see. It should basically earn some more money pretty soon. Otherwise, I'll have to basically not build my HQ. silver train, my log train, my alcohol, and my cacti trains are the only ones that make enough money to basically cover out some of my company debt. But once that train full of cacti arrives at its destination, I should basically receive a pretty good sizable profit. There we go, and place. Alright. Now, it's going to take a little bit of while for the ship to arrive at its destination, so I'm going to cut it here, and we're back. As you can see, our guano ship has just arrived to the port. Let's see if guano will do anything to help increase the production yield of the cactus farm. Don't see any improvement. Is this even gonna work?
As luck would have it, it turns out that cactuses don't grow better when they're fertilized. Just the opposite. The existing plants died. And stinking heaps of bird droppings are piling up everywhere.
Oh dear, that was a really bad mistake on our part.
Oh my. Despite all your efforts, Topolobampo goes under in a sorry state. Maybe the human race simply isn't ready yet for a life in paradise. So that ideally no one will ever be reminded of this sad episode in the history of mankind, it seems like a good idea to erase any traces of this experiment. It's the only way to enable future generations to start all over again. The remaining stocks of the manufactured goods shouldn't go to waste. The Mexican population is grateful for those kinds of handouts, and you don't end up with nothing to show for it.
So it seems like our little Utopia idea didn't work out so well. But even despite that, in real life, Topolobampo is still a populated city. But basically, it's not going to work so well in this game, so to speak. So, we'll have to basically take everything out and just, well, showcase that the idea of building a Utopia here in the desert lands of Mexico never really worked out. But, however, we can still make a profit with every single vehicle, and every business is still relying on my vehicles to transport their commodities. So, technically, it's not like the town stopped completely. But, considering that our medical cactus, chemicals has I meant to say medical alcohol has proven to be pretty good. I think the entirety of the building could, into manufacturing cacti whiskey or something like that. Cacti tequila. So 326. But might as well extend the station platform a bit and have the entirety of the building ready to basically transport its commodities down by wagon convoy to their destination. Although El Forete's market is at 0 right now, that will change once the wagons are at the station ready to be loaded. Fortunately, this can also apply to the Topolobampo Silver Spoon Factory, aka the Silverware Factory, where I could basically deliver loads of silverware from there all the way to here. But considering that the alcohol distillery is super close by, I think it's probably better if we try doing that instead. And at the same time, let's just use some of the money that we keep making to basically pay off our company's debt before we have to say goodbye to Topolobampo. Speaking of which, I need to have a look at my service points. So, the most profitable, surprising, is my silver ore train, with nearly 1,000,000 credits in earnings, while the least is my freight train number 1, carrying medical alcohol into Topolobampo. The Topolobampo hospital is full to the brim already, and there's already plenty of silver spoons at the hotel. There's none at the Topolobampo export, and our ship only basically makes about nearly 275,000 credits on each delivery, and it takes a while for it to get there because of the long distance. How much does this train carry? 92. I remember when this train basically carried 140. Well, I guess there's nothing much left. But our passenger service still is making a bit of a decent profit for right now. But because of our financial troubles, all of our equipment is basically going to age and become rusty and basically very much unkept. But at least the silverware tree is still making quite a coherent profit year by year. There needs to be more alcohol basically being produced. There needs to be more cacti. I realize that now that only one train can basically deliver all of it. And there's no river connection between here and here that allows ships to bring it in. But other than that though, one of our wagons are basically heading straight up towards, well, the market to unload its commodity. Hopefully, once it starts getting a little bit more busier, then hopefully more of these wagons will be filled up. So I'm gonna cut again until the last bits of alcohol is being delivered to the market. So I'll see you all in just a moment. And we're back again, possibly for the last time, as we are basically about to unload our last bits of supplies for the El Burrete market.
See to it that no one notices you are ever here. It's the only way to enable more advanced generations to venture a completely new start in the future.
Now, we could basically let the buildings be demolished and come back up every once in a while. As you can see right here, we don't even need to delete any buildings. But we might as well have a look around one last time. So basically, the reason why we were able to complete this a lot faster was because one of our trains, this one, began delivering silver spoons left over at Topolobampo Central back here, where it got transferred to this truck station, on where these road vehicles would then take the silverware as well as the alcohol to the market. That's actually pretty darn impressive. And it basically helped me reduce my budget, well, my expenditure, well, my debt down as much as it could. But, well, it's the last mission, so what the heck. 64%. 63. Well, it's in the 60% now. It shouldn't be too long. If I could just keep destroying buildings that are not going to basically break my budget, I think I'll basically be able to do okay. Still need to make some more cash badly. Seriously, what service is not profitable anymore? Well, the only services are our medical trains. But considering there is no need to operate any of these vehicles here anymore, I'm selling them all off and destroying the rest of the villagers.
Oh, well. Goodbye, you paradise by the Pacific. Never to be seen again. You did your best. But the time wasn't ripe for your path-breaking ideas. What a pity. May the children of the future encounter more fertile conditions for establishing the free and fair community of the future.
Indeed. Sad that Topolobampo never basically matured into a utopia. But we did our best, and we made a lot of money in the process. So I guess that counts. But let's head to the main menu and see what our next mission has to be.
It's the dawning of the 20th century. Russia at the turn of the century. Tsar Nicholas II rules with an iron fist. Anyone who dares to be thrilled by far too dangerous ideas is summarily sent to the endless vastness of Siberia. But many are here of their own free will. Arriving from the overpopulated East, they hope for a better life. The longest railway in the world is going to make it possible.
Which will be in the next episode. So,
Mankind is
if you enjoyed my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. Considering that this is basically part 2 of episode 4, these missions are going to get so long I'll have to upload both on Fridays and Saturdays. So, this is Texas Gaming Industry saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!